Hey, what's up, everyone? So, I just went to CVS and I feel so sad about my life right now because, like, I have basically self-diagnosed obsessive compulsive disorder, um, depression, anxiety, and PTSD, but I basically self-diagnosed myself with all of those things. And yes, I know you should never self-diagnose. I know I should see a therapist. I definitely recommend everyone to see a therapist. I just personally don't want to see a therapist because I just know the way that I am. If I talk about my problems in too much detail to another person, it's just going to make me have a nervous breakdown, basically. Like, it makes me, if I talk about my problem, if I talk about the problems, if I talk about my anxiety, all of my various anxieties, and it makes me more anxious. It makes it more difficult for me. It just makes my life harder. And so that is why I do not want to see a therapist right now until I can get to a place where it feels like it would bring me relief to talk about my anxiety issues. But right now, I don't. I know that right now, the best thing for my sanity and mental health is basically to just not talk about my problems with people. And basically, also, I know that when you stop thinking about the problem, usually your negative thinking patterns will start to fade more and more away if you can just stop thinking negative thoughts as much. And so that's definitely always helped me. I've almost cured myself, for the most part, of my obsessive compulsive disorder, but then today something happened just now in CVS, and it just made me feel really... Oh, there's a mosquito here, it's annoying me. It just made me feel really bad, like, and it's a simple thing. It's like, I can't do simple things that most people can do without getting just crazy anxiety about it. And a lot of times I'll probably do stuff and people will probably wonder why I do the things that I do. And they just won't get it. But it's like there's a method to the madness, if that makes sense. Like, I have to do things a certain way to stay sane, and if I don't, sometimes I feel like I'll have a nervous breakdown, basically. I don't really have that many things that I have to do a certain way anymore. Like, I used to be really bad. Not bad, but like, I used to be really, just in a lot of anxiety to where I would have to check things like, 50 million times. I'd have to make sure that I really locked my door, like, probably 10 times in a row, or, I'd have to wash my hands sometimes maybe 15 times in a row, or check that I locked my car door like 10 times in a row. It didn't have to be like a certain number all the time or anything. My issue has always, well, not really so much, I don't really have this issue anymore, but at least not really, not that much, but I used to really question my reality a lot. I used to question whether or not everything that I was seeing and experiencing really happened to me. Like, I wondered if I just made it all up in my head. I had to check things to make sure that I got everything right. I had to check to make sure that this stuff really happened like that, like how I thought it happened. So that's why I would check to make sure that I really locked my door, like 10 times in a row. I had to make sure that I really locked my door. I would ask people, I also had to, like, wash my hands sometimes 10 times in a row, or, 50 million times in a row. It didn't have to be a certain number, but I just had to keep washing my hands or checking things until I was sure I got it right. I really did wash my hands. I didn't make that up in my head that I washed my hands. I really did actually wash my hands. And then, to make sure that it really happened, that I really washed my hands. Even simple things like washing my hands, I had to check and make sure that I actually washed my hands. So, and then also I would ask people questions, but like a lot of questions. Like, I had to get people to basically, I would ask questions to make sure that I really heard the exact word that I really heard. I had to ask people lots of questions to make sure that I really heard the exact correct words that they. I had to ask people a lot of questions to make sure that I really heard the exact correct words that they said to me, that I really heard correct. I had to make sure that I really heard correctly exactly what they said to me. I had to make sure that I got everything they said right, that I didn't make up the wrong words in my mind. I really got everything that they said correct. And you can imagine how I would drive people basically crazy, and I guess, yeah, because I would keep asking so many questions. So people would be like, why are you asking me that again and again? Why do you keep asking that? And it's just, there's a method to the madness. Like I said, if I don't ask, like in the past, if I didn't ask those questions, then I would sit there and worry and just stew for hours sometimes about whether or not I, got what they said correct, and that would drive me insane. So the only way that I really found a way to stay sane was to ask lots of questions and make sure that I got everything that they said right, and to make sure I also had to check things to make sure that I got everything right. And then, I've basically mostly cured myself of all this stuff. I don't have to ask people a bunch of questions anymore. Every now and then, sometimes I will ask a question to get someone to repeat something again to me. Every now and then I will do it if it's something that stresses me out. Like if I'm at the doctor's office and I'm worried about, making sure I got everything right with my, what my doctor said, I will definitely ask my doctor a few questions to get them to repeat everything, just because that would make me feel better, before I leave my doctor's office. And then, sometimes I'll do that when it's like something that's really important to me, like going to the doctor's office or something that's important, or if I'm at work, sometimes I'll do that. But it's rare now. It's rare now that I will ask questions to get people to repeat themselves. I don't do that very often. I do that rarely now. But then, and then I don't have to wash my hands 50 million times anymore. Like, I usually, I only have to wash my hands one time now when I'm at my house, and that's kind of a big deal for me. Like I said, simple things that most people can do that's easy, that they don't even think about doing, they just do it, and they don't even have to worry about it, and they have no anxiety about it. That's not the way that I can live. Like, I wish I could live that way again. I used to be normal, quote unquote normal. I used to be able to do things like a normal person and not have to think about checking things and anxiety about normal, simple, everyday things that you have to do. But now my life is just forever different. I have to live with this anxiety about just minute, everyday things that nobody thinks about. I feel intense anxiety about those things. And it's really hard, but I'm a lot better now. I'm basically almost cured of these things. It's just, but then sometimes things will happen, like I'll have to go to the doctor's office, like I said, and that will trigger me, and then I'll end up having to ask a bunch of questions to get the doctor to repeat themselves, because that's the only way that it's going to make me feel relief from my anxiety. And then, so basically I don't really have to check things anymore unless something triggers me. The only time I'll check things now is if something triggers me. Or if it's something really important, like I'm always going to be triggered by the doctor's office. There's certain things that will always trigger me, And then today I went to CVS and I got triggered. And it was so simple. I literally just wanted to go to CVS to buy lipstick, scissors to cut the lace off of my brand new lace front wig, and I wanted to get some tea I wanted to get some fused tea if they had it. And that was a big deal for me. I actually felt anxiety about buying this lipstick, you guys, because I'm also a germaphobe. And it's ironic that I'm a germaphobe because I only bathe once a week, literally, and I'm not even joking. I really only bathe once or maybe a few times a week. But it's pretty rare that I will bathe every day. Now, I used to bathe, most days. Like, most of my life I've bathed most days, except, the past year I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety, and I don't know, I just never really got back into bathing like I should regularly. So you can call me gross, whatever, I don't care. But you should really just save your breath, because I already said the word gross, so you don't have to put it in the comment section. Unless, of course, you like wasting your time. So, there's that. But, basically, and I know I should bathe more, and I'm going to try to bathe more. It's just, I don't know. When you have a lot of things on your mind that you're preoccupied by, like me, I guess you just I sort of forget to bathe, to be honest, because I'm so preoccupied by a lot of other things. And I know that's still not really a good reason or anything. I should still bathe. I know that. Anyway, the point is, I was at CVS and I got triggered. Basically, by a simple thing. I was already anxious about buying this lipstick because this is the weird thing about me. It's like I said, I'm a germaphobe, not about my own germs, because I don't really bathe that often, but I'm a germaphobe about other people's germs. I don't want to touch other people's germs, okay? So, usually I don't think about this unless something happens that somehow triggers me. And so I was already anxious about buying lipstick because I didn't want to buy makeup. I didn't want to buy lipstick and be worried that somehow someone in the store had touched the lipstick or tested it out, because some people go through makeup and test it out. And so I could have bought lipstick at Kroger, but see, I was too anxious that maybe because there aren't that many people in the makeup section at Kroger, I was worried that maybe people would have maybe possibly touched that lipstick or opened it up. So I was concerned about that, and I didn't want to buy lipstick from Kroger because of that. So, like I said, I make little things that nobody worries or has anxiety about into something they have anxiety about. I have anxiety about things that most people do not think about. But lipstick is a big deal to me, apparently. So I could not buy lipstick from Kroger. I just couldn't do it. I stood there in front of the lipstick for like probably 5 minutes in anxiety and stress, just trying to get myself, okay, I was trying to basically talk myself into getting this lipstick, like, it's fine, it's a store, you know, what germs could possibly be on lipstick, it's just a store, I'm sure that it's fine, I'm sure no one touched it, but I just couldn't get it at Kroger, I just could not do it. And I was thinking, okay, I felt good about getting lipstick at a drugstore, because, like, you can buy condoms at a drugstore, you know, and, you know, though you don't have to worry about people touching or opening up the condoms at a drugstore or anything, because people at drugstores, I just felt like people at drugstores tend to kind of watch the aisles more, and people just don't generally go through and test out makeup in drugstores, because there's usually more cameras in drugstores that are visible, and, you know, I don't know, I just felt like getting my lipstick at a drugstore would somehow make me feel better about buying it. I just felt like I would feel better about buying lipstick at a drugstore. And so I went to CVS, and I felt really good when I got there. I was like, okay, I can do this. This feels like a good place. This was like a good place to get my lipstick at. And I was like, okay, but you know what? I don't want to get the lipstick first and then end up having to hold my lipstick around with me while I'm walking around the store. I didn't really want to get a cart, because I was only getting like 3 things, and I didn't want to hold my lipstick around with me in the store, because I was worried that if I was holding my lipstick, it might touch someone else who was walking down past the aisles with me, so I didn't want to do that. Yet again, this is a big deal. I think about all these things that no one else would ever think about. And so I was like, okay, I'll just get the scissors and the tea first, and then I'll get the lipstick last, because the lipstick was, for whatever reason, the thing that I was the most worried about getting people's germs on, because it's going on my lips. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, the tea is in a bottle, and I guess I just wasn't as anxious about the tea for some reason. I don't know. Sometimes most of the time, my anxiety is totally irrational. Like, why would I be worried about, not worried about the germs on a tea bottle, but worried about the germs getting onto my lipstick when it's in a container that's just as closed as the tea. I don't know why, but it's just something about the lipstick going on my lips. It just made me anxious. I had to get this lipstick, and I had to get it in a way that didn't trigger me. But here's what happened, and I feel kind of dumb that I did this, but basically I got so used to being normal or feeling normal again that I sort of forgot that there's certain things that I have to do, like there's a certain protocol I have to not get triggered, and there's just certain things that I just can't do, or else it'll just trigger me, and it'll just turn into me being anxious for hours or possibly days. And so I was at CVS, and the store person, or maybe he was the manager, he was just putting things on the aisle, and he was like, "Hi, how are you doing? Can I help you find something?" And that didn't trigger me or anything, and, you know, I just said, "Oh, scissors." I wasn't even thinking about it. Like, I wasn't even thinking that I would be triggered by asking him to help me find the scissors. But then it's, you know, I should have trusted my intuition, because as soon as I was, like, about to ask him to help me find the scissors, I started feeling fear and anxiety, and I just felt like it was the wrong thing to do for me. And it was, because as soon as I asked him to help me find the scissors, I instantly regretted it. And even though this is literally not a big deal to anyone, this is a huge deal to me. For some dumb reason, it just is. And so he went to show me where the scissors were, and then he touched the scissors as he was showing me where they were, and I freaked out, basically. I was just sitting there. I literally started putting both of my hands on my bag strap so I could be sure that I wasn't touching him. I was instantly like, oh my gosh, why did I ask him to show me where these scissors were? Now he's right here next to me. I already didn't want to touch anyone or be next to anyone. I was already trying to avoid all the people in the aisles and not touch anyone while I was in there, because I was about to buy my lipstick that I was already anxious about having germs on it. I didn't want to touch anyone in there or press past anyone in the store. And then he's touching the scissors, and it's just, I kept thinking, oh my gosh, I have no idea where his hands have been, or it just freaked me out. And I was just instantly like, oh my gosh. I stood in front of the scissors for like a few seconds, and I was trying to talk myself into being rational, like, okay, so he touched the scissors. Obviously, they're going to have to touch all of the things that I buy when they check it out. So it doesn't matter that he touched the scissors. But even though I tried to just be rational about it, and I knew, oh my gosh, I know they have to touch my stuff anyway, and my lips, I know they have to touch my lipstick when they check it out anyway, but I still couldn't get past it because it was the way he touched the scissors. He just put his fingers like this on the scissors all over, all the scissors that were on the aisle, and I was just like, no, it was just too much. It just triggered me too much. I could not buy the scissors. Now, if it would, I don't know why it's different if I had been able to touch the scissors first myself and then take it to the checkout line, and then they touch the scissors. That wouldn't have bothered me for some reason. But the fact that he was in the aisle touching the scissors, and it just, I don't know, something about just seeing him touch the scissors triggered me. And I just could not buy the scissors or anything. I could not buy anything in that store after that. I had to just leave CVS. And I felt so bad. I was so depressed. I was so depressed because I've been used to feeling normal again for so many months now. I have not really been super triggered very often, and then I don't know, just the whole CVS thing, it just depressed me so much. I just wanted to buy lipstick, and that turned into a huge deal for me. And I couldn't even get lipstick. Just a simple thing, a simple everyday thing, just buying lipstick is still hard for me, and that is what depressed me. It depressed me that I'm not as normal as I wish I was. It depressed me that I couldn't get the lipstick I really wanted. It depressed me that this is actually a big deal to me, and that I'm actually making a 24-minute long video about it. But it's a huge deal to me for some weird reason, and my anxiety is totally irrational, like I said. But I've mostly gotten over it through being rational and talking myself into being rational about things, like how I was at CVS today, but sometimes it just doesn't work. And today was one of those days. It just did not work. it was just too much. It was making me too anxious. So I could have talked myself into buying the lipstick and just bought it anyway, and bought the scissors and bought everything, and maybe I would have gotten over it eventually, but it was just too much for me at the time, and I was just like, you know what? It's not worth having a meltdown over. It's not worth me feeling anxious about this for possibly weeks or months or days. So I was just like, you know what, I'm probably going to regret buying the lipstick today and all the stuff I wanted today from CVS if I bought it today. So I was just like, you know what, I don't want to regret buying the stuff I wanted today, even though I really wanted it. I knew that the best thing for me to do was to just wait another day. And I'm going to just go to Target. Even though I was kind of anxious about buying a lipstick at Target for the same reason that I was anxious about buying it at Kroger, I was anxious about people touching the makeup at Target as well. But I'm just going to go to Target and buy my lipstick another day instead of today. And it'll be okay. Like, I'm okay. It's just kind of annoying that I have to live like this, basically. And I wasn't always like this. Like, 4 years ago, I wasn't like this. But, you know, then my dad died, and after that, I basically developed all of these things that I'm still dealing with kind of somewhat now. So, yeah. I wish that I could be normal again. Basically. But I don't know if I ever will be. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I will be. In a few years, maybe I will be. Because I have, mostly cured myself just from meditating and positive thinking. So maybe if I could cure myself in, just 1 year of meditating and positive thinking, then maybe in another year, or maybe in less than 5 years, maybe in less than 3 years, I could be totally cured. I don't know. It's possible. But I just want you guys to all have hope that you can actually cure yourself of things like obsessive compulsive disorder or post-traumatic stress disorder or depression. Like, I know that a lot of doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists will tell you that these things are lifelong and you're probably always going to have it, but, like, I don't think that that is true at all. I think you can cure yourself of just about anything. Most things, I guess. Certainly you can cure yourself of obsessive compulsive disorder, but it takes a lot of spiritual work on yourself. Like, you probably will need to meditate every day, and you basically would have to be a mental Jedi, which is what I had to do. I had to be a mental Jedi, and by that I mean, you know how, like, Jedis have to concentrate super hard in Star Wars to do things, I guess to use the Force or whatever. I'm pretty sure they have to concentrate super hard to do that. I don't know how it works. I'm not a big Star Wars person, but that's just the best example I can think of. Basically, anything you can think of that requires intense concentration and intense, like, mental acrobatics is what you have to be able to do to get better with any depression or anxiety or mental health issue. I literally had to force myself to stop thinking negative thoughts. As soon as I would have to catch myself thinking a negative thought and then just stop it. I just had to stop thinking negative thoughts as much as possible. And you really do have to do that. And it's super hard at first because your mind is going to be very difficult to control at first when it's used to thinking negatively. And then you attract the thoughts you think. So it's really hard, but after a while of doing it, eventually the negative thoughts start popping up in your head less and less after a few months or maybe a year of really controlling all of your thoughts. The negative thoughts really do start to fade away. Like, I was worried that I might always have an extraordinary amount of negative thoughts just constantly pop into my head. I felt like I couldn't even control my mind, and it was like my mind was basically trying to destroy me. Like, I felt like my mind, like the thoughts I was thinking, they would just pop into my head, and it was like, I don't want to think this thought. Like, I wanted my thoughts to just go away, but I couldn't make all these negative thoughts stop. And, I would keep trying to control my thoughts, but all the negative thoughts would keep popping back up again. But after, a few months of really controlling my thoughts, finally, all the negative thoughts started fading away more and more and more as the months went by. And now it's, I wouldn't say it's rare for me to think a negative thought, but the thoughts that I was thinking, they do not pop up anywhere near as much as they used to. And it's so much easier now to be happy and to I can actually think about the things I want to think about. My brain isn't like attacking me all the time. It's just so much easier now to live my life, basically. And so basically I had to be a mental Jedi to do that. It was so hard to control my thoughts when they wouldn't be controlled, when they didn't want to be controlled. But after a while of controlling my thoughts anyway, even though all these negative thoughts would still pop in my head, I would still force myself to think positive thoughts and think about the way I wanted my life to be instead of the way it actually was. And then finally, the negative thoughts just appeared more and more. But it took a lot of time. It took a few months. It took like less than a year, though, to get to where I am now. Like, I've been this way since of my mind being a mostly peaceful place. I would say I've been this way since, like, maybe March. I think I would say March was probably a turning point. Or maybe February. No, March. I think March. So, I kind of think Aries season had a big part to play in that as well, because it was my birthday, and I'm an Aries. My birthday is March 31st, and I don't know. I feel like, Aries, we're so, naturally, we're supposed to be really enthusiastic. And, obviously, you're not going to really be your true Aries self if you're depressed. But, I think I could feel a lot of that enthusiasm from all the other Aries people at the time, who were also really excited about their birthdays coming up, like how I was. And I was watching Julian Salamita, or whatever his name is, Jenna Marbles' boyfriend, his Aries cooking show in March, and it was just like, I was so excited. I could just feel the energy of all the different Aries out there. But also, I was excited about my birthday, and I was also just really meditating a lot in March, and following a lot of the inspired actions I got from meditation in March. So it was just a really great time, and I think that was probably the biggest turning point of me really, like, finally getting to a place where my mind was actually a peaceful place a lot of times, and I could actually control my thoughts. And now I still have a lot of negative thoughts pop up in my head that I don't want to think, but it's nowhere near as bad as before. Like before, it used to feel like I could not stand my own mind. Like, meditating used to be like torture, because I would quiet my mind and all these horrible thoughts would pop into my head, and it was the worst. It actually was painful. I would basically, like, just be going about my day, and all day, every single day, I would have, like, literally painful thoughts just pop into my head, and it hurt. It physically hurts, because all these thoughts would pop into my head, and then, I'd be triggered all day, every day. And after I finally was able to control my thoughts, and when all these negative thoughts that were really painful finally started fading away, now I can actually go about my day, and I'm not triggered every other minute. It's nice. It's nice. It's really nice. So, I'm telling you, even though it's extraordinarily difficult to control your thoughts and be this mental Jedi, if you can achieve it, if you can do it, the results are so worth it, so amazing. And yes, I know that it's incredibly difficult to control your thoughts when you're in the deepest pits of depression. But like I said, if you are able to think positively, no matter what, eventually, probably in a few months, all the negative thoughts that keep popping into your head all the time that you don't want to think, eventually they'll start fading away more and more and more. Probably in a few months. Probably in less than a year. So, definitely try to force yourself to think positive thoughts. I mean, that really is what you have to do to get better, I think. And that's basically what a therapist would do with you anyway. They'll probably do something like cognitive, what's it called? I think it's called, is it cognitive behavioral therapy? I don't know which one it is, but I think it's the one where they basically try to get you to reframe your negative thoughts into positive thoughts. That's basically what I did for myself. To myself, I basically just forced myself to think positive thoughts. Instead of, whenever I would think a negative thought, I would basically just kind of rewrite that thought to be positive instead. Like, instead of thinking I'm so stupid, I would think I'm smart. And even if you don't believe that stuff at first, after a few months of thinking things about yourself that you want to believe, you're going to start to believe it. Because a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. So, and then you start to become what you believe. So remember that. It's also like you literally are what you eat, because see, when you eat certain things, it depends on the person. Some people are able to eat junk food and feel good, and thrive and still be healthy. But for me, I know that if I sit around and eat a bunch of like junk food and pizza and like heavy oily things all day, I'm going to feel like I don't have any energy. So just like how, but then if I eat salad or fruit smoothies or veggies all day, I'm gonna feel great. Like I literally feel the difference in my energy. So just like how you are what you eat most of the time. I mean, I don't know about most of the time, but depending on the person, you are what you eat. But you are what you believe about yourself and what you visualize yourself doing. If you want to be successful and if you want to have energy and if you want a nice job, you want a relationship, if you want anything that you want, visualize yourself already having those things and already being the way that you want to be. Like if you if you want to believe that you're confident when you don't feel confident, then say to yourself, I am confident, and then visualize yourself being confident while doing the things that you want to do confidently. Like if you have social anxiety sometimes, like me, then visualize yourself being able to go up to the people you want to talk to, or do the public speaking thing you want to do, or to do the meeting or the presentation you want to do, and visualize yourself actually feeling confident while you do it, and then try to actually feel the emotions of feeling confident while you visualize. That will help a lot. And the more that you visualize yourself doing the things you want to do and talk about yourself as if you already are the way you want to be, and when you think beliefs about yourself that are positive and uplifting to you and that you actually want to believe about yourself and be, and emulate, that you actually want to emulate, and the more that you act the way that you want to be, you're going to start becoming that way, because you are what you believe. And so you're literally going to rewire your brain and start becoming more and more like how you want to be. And usually when you visualize things that you want, they start to happen. And like, for example, if you want to be really good at, there was a study actually, I believe that I heard two different studies, like where like one study was like people playing basketball, I think, and another study was people playing piano, I think. And like they basically had two different groups, and like one group in both of those studies with the piano and the basketball people, one group just visualized playing piano or playing basketball, and the other group actually practiced playing piano or playing basketball. And then at the end of like whatever amount of time, I think it might have been a month for one of the studies or maybe something like that, after about a month, they tested both groups, and they were both equally as good, pretty much, at playing piano and playing basketball. Like, they had both improved, like, just as much. So visualization is actually really powerful, and athletes actually do, I'm pretty sure most athletes, especially like Olympians or people who are serious about being an athlete, I'm pretty sure most athletes know this already and use visualization when they are practicing and right before they make their runs and things. You visualize the success, you visualize winning, and then you're much more likely to win. When you visualize yourself actually doing stuff, you're much more likely to perform better and to actually be able to achieve your goal. And it just makes it so much easier to do something that you've already visualized yourself doing 1,000 times. Or, it doesn't have to be 1,000 times. Maybe if you just visualize doing something for a few days, or one day of visualizing something could make it be so much easier for you than if you try to do something without visualizing it, But, obviously, you're not always going to be able to visualize right before you do something, and you'll still be able to be really successful at things that you don't visualize yourself doing before you do them. I'm just saying that, you want to visualize and meditate and just do whatever makes you feel good as much as possible. That's another thing I did that helped me get better with my anxiety issues, is I purposefully followed my joy as much as possible. I did the things that I love doing as often as possible, and when you do that, it puts you in that space of unconditional love, and it just makes healing your mind easier. And the thing that always helps me when I'm really depressed, is video games. There's not really anything else I can do, to be honest, when I'm really depressed, because everything else I want to do, I like to be in a good frame of mind before I do. But video games, it's just kind of a thing where you can kind of do it, and you don't really have to focus that hard usually, depending on the game. Anyway, it's just fun. Video games are just always kind of the thing that I go to that when I'm really depressed, that makes me feel better. Then also I write, and I also watch movies, and I write, and yeah, things like that. This video is getting way too long, but now you know a lot more about me. My name is Hannah, but on here, you can call me Magical. And please subscribe and like this video. I talk about my self a lot on my channel. I do a lot of vlogs, and I do talk about my issues with anxiety and my mental health issues and my issues with depression a lot. But usually I like to try to give advice on how people can get better from mental health issues. Or I'm doing tarot readings, one or the other. Also, I plan on doing funny skits in the future, so it's not always going to be usually my channel is really positive, and I'm just talking about I'm just teaching ways to uplift yourself and have a happier life, and I'm laughing around. So this was a darker video today, but it felt timely since I just got back from CVS, literally, and started filming this. So please subscribe to me, and please like this video if you liked it. Seriously, please subscribe. and like the video, because I need 1,000 subscribers to make YouTube, which is my passion, be my full-time job someday. But for now, I'm good with, just making videos. And I would make videos even if I never made any money from YouTube, because I just love making videos. But I definitely would love to, I really want to be able to do what I love full-time. So, and then I could make more videos if I had more time. So there's that. Thanks for watching if you actually watched this much. And have a good day. I bless you all with pure source energy and pure love and light.